Hello, America. This is Eddie Marcus back one more time. I want to share something with you. Might have some significant value. I don't know, but let me share it. Here I go. I remember being a young boy. I remember when black people were doing different things than white people. You very seldom saw white people unless you saw them in magazines or if you went uptown or some people might say downtown every now and then you might see a white person. But you were strictly taught to, old as I am now, I'm sure young people not nowadays are not in the same old mess. But we were taught to say yes sir, yes ma'am, or some people might say no, yawsome, stuff like that. Couldn't even look white people in the eye. I mean, we had heard that stuff talk so much you always held your head down. And if you were looking at a white person and didn't want to look down, you looked to the side of his head. You didn't want to look in his eyes. I don't know why. I remember the folks that raised me told me, so you ever get in trouble with the white man, you make sure you kill somebody, because they'll get you off for killing, but don't mess with his money, because he'll kill you by messing with his money. That was the kind of little things that I was given when I was growing up. Some other stuff that I was given came from people like Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. They used to talk about white people being devils. Well, you really didn't know that they were devils, because in the Bible they made you think that the devil had a forked tongue and a long old tail with a bunch of hooks on it and some horns and was red. So you didn't know that they were devils, but based upon Elijah Muhammad, how he described them as being racist and haters and murderers and heartless and all this kind of stuff. He named everything that fell into a devil. And they were what? All described by white people. Malcolm X came along, he took that song and sang it loud. Now, that doesn't mean that all white people, even back in those days, were devils. But you know how that expression goes. You know what happens when good folk do nothing? All hell breaks loose. And so that's what we came along in hell, because good white people didn't do nothing. Later on, another man came along by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was a little bought into, hold up, ladies and gentlemen. Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
How's Reese doing?
She's doing all right. Look, let me call you back in 1 minute. I got to finish doing this tape.
What?
Let me call you back in a minute.
Okay.
All right. Bye. So, you know, it was white people just sit back and didn't do nothing. But Dr. King came along. He talked about the same God they talked about the same Constitution they talked about the laws and same thing they talked about justice and this kind of stuff. He didn't call white people devils, but he got black people moving out in the streets because they knew that they were living, according to Elijah Muhammad, under devils, and they were tired of living under devils. So they came out in the street. And Dr. King was so gifted, I guess, that the good white people, not the devils, but the good white people joined along with the black people. And they came out and made a few changes. But see, what was happening, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Coming up in America, you were white. You were taught you were right. You were superior. You were the best. You were all of this. And black people were nothing. Just like he had Trump talking about black people in other parts of the world, calling their houses and their homes and their states and their towns shithole, and calling across the railroad track. All that, he can't find nothing decent to say about black people. None of them, unless they're kissing his butt. So, they said that white was right, he had the money, and that was lifting up something close to God. And black was the devil. He had no money, he was the ghetto, he was the worst thing on the face of the earth. And so, they thought they had tricked God. And God looked down on America and saw the problems that we were going through. And so God decided to send a messenger down here to America. One was already here, but decided to qualify him to tell Americans how you can have heaven on earth. But the problem was he told a black man. And he told a black man who didn't have any money. In fact, he told blacks who were almost descended straight up from slavery. I mean, he probably raised by some people who were slaves. And he walked out there and showed the people. Nobody wanted to hear that. The white man, you know, didn't want to hear it because they came from a black man with no money. And black people have been trained. If white people like him, it must be all right. If white people don't like him, get back. The only reason Dr. King had some movement is because some of the black people were tired and they came and started supporting him. But what really got him support was when white people started supporting him. Oh, black people looked at that and saw white people in the marches. Oh, black people said, it must be okay then. So let's get in the marches. Let's get on the bus rides. Let's do all this stuff. But what you had seen was that God had sent a solution to blacks and whites, but wrong color, wrong economic situation. So they ignored it. So what had happened, you took around a little time passed by. Then some time passed by, 35, 40 years. And they sent a white man, one of those men that Elijah Muhammad said was a devil. And they sent him right after he had gotten rid of a black man being president. Ooh, can you imagine that? All those white folks who bought into the fact that white was right, black get back, scornment and all that kind of stuff, they couldn't stand it. They just went for Trump. Even though Miss Clinton, who they said was a devil too, had thousands and thousands more votes, Trump still was the devil that got the vote. And so he became the president of the United States. White and supposedly rich. I don't know how rich he is, but I know he's richer than me. And what is he doing? He's destroying America. He's so mad with America because he couldn't get accepted with the elite. And he's blaming, well, just to keep his support up, he's keeping those people that love him, making them think it's me. And people look like me is the reason they don't have a job, is the reason that their dreams can't come true. That's what he's doing. And he's selling America out to foreign countries. All of the stuff that devils do, that's what he's doing. And the same one that God sent to you to tell you about having heaven on earth is talking to you right now. Talking to you right now, just as broke as I was 30 years ago. But my vision is just as clear. I know, because of the information that I've been given, how we as human beings, and I'm not going to talk about the rest of the world yet, I'm just going to talk about America. Every last one of us can have our dreams met. Every dream we think we might have could be met. And we don't have to die to go to heaven. We can create it right here. That's the message that the black man from God comes to tell you, that you passed over and won't have nothing to do with. And I'm still here telling you this. I'm telling you that I don't care what color you are, what ethnicity you are. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care how old you are. Look, your dreams can come true. Health care for everybody. Education for everybody. Housing for everybody. Food, clothing. All of that for everybody. And it's all built on the fact that every last one of you got a job, contributing to the creative process. And God says that you can have everything you can imagine. No war, no crime, no violence, no poverty, no lying, no cheating, no stealing. This is what a black man is telling you. This is what a black man is telling you. Now, you got people running for president. You know Trump. You know he's a big liar, so you don't even have to worry about him. You either like him or you don't. But for you other people, you Democrats, and all those people in between, and blacks, and minorities, and everybody that's hurting, I'm telling you that in spite of all of that, the Heavenly Father, that you can't see, can't touch, can't feel, has qualified me to stand before you and tell you that every last one of you can have that job. You can smile and stop fighting with one another. You don't have to be a bigot. You don't have to listen to the devil any longer. Since you know the devil is up there. I mean, he's up there. I'm looking at him right now, TV on the side. Look, he's standing up there. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Nothing but a devil. Anyway, I'm saying that, but you got the evidence. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you that not you. You chose Donald Trump. God chose me. And this is what Trump is giving you. And I'm telling you what God has for you if you choose it. And you know what? Donald Trump, he got you because he told you he was rich. He told you that he was billions, and that just messed you up. Oh, he don't need no money. He gonna do something for me. Yeah. All right. Now, these Republicans and Democrats who are trying to tell you, they mention some of these same things that I mentioned to you, but they've always done it, and they have never delivered. They can't deliver. They don't know how to deliver. But I'm going to tell you how to deliver. It doesn't matter if I'm president or somebody else, but I'm going to tell you how to deliver it. It ain't but one way to deliver that, and that's going by God's plan. And I've just described to you part of God's plan. The other part is you put money off the script. Money doesn't matter. Money is nothing but a dynamite bomb. It ain't nothing but gas just waiting to kill you. It is something that the devil, and I'm going to say it, the devil put up to you Americans to say, you don't need God, you need money. You don't need God. That's what Donald Trump and those devilish white people are telling you. You don't need God, because the devil came up with something that was replacing it, and it was called money. And right now, today, all Americans want money. They might not want as much as some, but they want money. And money is nothing but another problem. Another problem. All of your answers is based upon you changing your spirit, changing your mind, and changing your way of action. And stop listening to the devil and start listening to God. And the first thing God will do is give you your freedom by giving you a career of your own choosing. And everything else comes from that. Everything comes from that. You don't need no taxes. You don't need no loans. You don't need no debt. You don't need no IRS. You don't need no IMF. You don't need no central banks. You don't need no lawyers. You don't need any of that stuff. But that comes from a black man who ain't got no money. A black man who you have been trained to disregard. And what I'm telling you right now, I know you're not going to listen because I've been doing this for 40 years. And you still settle for Donald Trump. Right now, black people, Americans, white men, women, young and old, what you have going on in America right now, let me come closer to you, is exactly what you deserve. What you have in America right now is the fruit from the seed that you planted. What you have in America right now is the reaping of what you have sown. But in spite of all of that, you can still change. But will you? Personally, I don't believe you will. I don't believe you will. I just think that the whole nation are devils. And what does that mean? That means those of you who call yourself loving God too. What distinguishes you from all of the others? Because you go to church on Sunday? Because you don't drink? Because you don't smoke? Because you don't party? Because you don't have a good time? You think God cares about that? Well, that's the devil, man. That ain't no God. That's the devil doing that to make you hate God. And everybody that's watching you hate God because they don't want to be in that stump that you're in. That's all fake, ladies and gentlemen. Well, don't let me use the term fake. It's all a lie. If you want joy in your life, that comes from God. Prosperity comes from God. Peace comes from God. Freedom comes from God. The fulfillment of your dreams comes from God. Devil can't do any of that. And when he tries, he only can reach out to 1% of the people. The rest of you 99 are screwed. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to the polls and write in Eddie Marcus as the next president of the United States of America, indicating that you're taking your power back from those senators and people that you've given it to, and that you're using it yourself. You're going to represent yourself in a new program that God has for you. And you're going to do whatever you can to experience heaven yourself. as much of it as you possibly can. And if you can't get that much of it, at least your offspring, your children, and your children's children can get a lot of it. Because you made the decision that you were going to be different. Now you can listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, or you cannot. It's all on you. Bye-bye.